I wandered through the aisles of Walmart, the hum of fluorescent lights and distant chatter forming a familiar background. But that day, something felt off. An unexplained chill settled in the air, tingling down my spine as if unseen eyes followed my every move. Items inexplicably fell from shelves, crashing to the ground with no apparent cause. Disembodied whispers echoed through empty aisles, words too faint to discern but laden with an otherworldly weight. As I reached for a product, a hand brushed against mine, icy cold, sending a shiver through my body. I turned, expecting to see another shopper, but there was no one there. The sensation lingered, a haunting touch that refused to fade. A sense of being watched intensified with each step, the atmosphere thickening with an unspoken presence. Shadows danced in the corners, twisting into grotesque shapes that seemed to beckon, promising an unseen horror lurking just beyond sight. Aisle after aisle, the paranormal activity escalated. Carts moved on their own, aisles shifted in disarray, and a pervasive feeling of dread settled over me. Panic clawed at my throat as I tried to make sense of the inexplicable occurrences. Whispers grew louder, forming fragmented phrases that chilled me to the bone. A voice, faint yet unmistakable, called my name from the depths of the store. It felt like an echo from another realm, a plea or a warning I couldn't comprehend. A sudden drop in temperature sent a shiver through the crowded store, yet no one else seemed to notice. I stumbled upon a section enveloped in an unnatural darkness, a void that seemed to swallow sound and light. Amidst the chaos, a figure materialized, an ethereal presence shrouded in mist. Its eyes bore into mine, devoid of life, yet filled with an ancient, haunting knowledge. I tried to scream, but my voice faltered, trapped in the grip of an indescribable fear. In a frantic daze, I fled towards the exit, each step heavy with dread. As I crossed the threshold, the atmosphere shifted abruptly. The store returned to its mundane facade, the paranormal frenzy fading into an eerie silence. But the memory lingered, a haunting reminder that within the seemingly ordinary confines of Walmart, an inexplicable and chilling paranormal force had revealed itself, leaving me to grapple with an encounter beyond the realm of comprehension. I stepped into Walmart, unaware that this ordinary trip would warp into a haunting encounter. The bustling aisles were dimly lit, creating an eerie ambiance. That day, a sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air, an unsettling feeling that something lurked beyond the mundane. As I strolled through the aisles, a chilling whisper brushed against my ear, faint yet unmistakable. Dismissing it as a trick of my mind, I continued, but the whispers persisted. Indistinguishable words carried on an ethereal breath. Items inexplicably toppled from shelves, crashing to the floor without cause. Shoppers passed, oblivious to the eerie occurrences, their conversations drowned by the unsettling whispers. I turned down an empty aisle, drawn by an unseen force. A chilling cold enveloped me, the temperature plummeting inexplicably. Shadows danced at the corners of my vision, contorting into unnerving shapes that seemed to reach out, beckoning me into an abyss of darkness. A sudden gust swept through, extinguishing nearby lights. Panic seized me as I fumbled for my phone, only to find it drained of power, rendering me isolated in the growing darkness. A voice, spectral and hollow, pierced the silence, speaking words that resonated in my bones. It seemed to emanate from every corner, weaving an otherworldly tapestry of fear. Disoriented and gripped by terror, I stumbled toward the exit, each step heavier than the last. The familiar store twisted into a nightmarish landscape, aisles stretching endlessly, a maze designed to ensnare. In a moment of desperate resolve, I glanced back. There, amidst the darkness, stood a figure, an apparition draped in an eerie mist. Its eyes, devoid of life yet filled with an ancient, malevolent knowledge, locked onto mine. I sprinted toward the exit, terror propelling me forward. As I burst through the doors, I expected the nightmarish scene to fade. Instead, the Walmart facade remained unchanged, the horror lurking within unseen by others. Haunted by the encounter, I searched for explanations, but the paranormal encounter defied reason. That day, within the familiar confines of Walmart, I had crossed paths with a spectral realm, leaving me with a chilling memory of a reality that defies comprehension. I stood amidst the fluorescent-lit aisles of Walmart, the hum of chatter and the shuffle of shopping carts creating a mundane backdrop. I never thought this commonplace scene could transform into a nightmare. It was a routine trip. I strolled, distractedly scanning shelves, when a sudden chill slithered down my spine. A figure, nondescript yet oddly fixated, lingered in my peripheral vision. I brushed it off as paranoia until I turned down an empty aisle and the figure stood there, watching me with unnerving intent. My pace quickened, heart pounding in my chest. I tried losing them among the aisles, but their presence persisted like a shadow in pursuit. Panic whispered at the edges of my mind. As I reached for my phone to dial for help, a hand clamped over my mouth, stifling my scream. I struggled, thrashing wildly, but a cloth reeking of chemicals pressed against my nose. The world spun into darkness. I awoke in a haze, limbs heavy, eyes blinking against harsh light. The sterile, unfamiliar surroundings sent a wave of terror crashing over me. Bound and gagged, I lay in a confined space, the stench of disinfectant burning my nostrils. A voice cold and distant sliced through the silence. They spoke of ransom, demanding an exorbitant amount in exchange for my release. I was reduced to a bargaining chip, a pawn in their sinister game. Days blurred into a terrifying cycle of isolation and fear. I pleaded for freedom through muffled cries, but my captor remained indifferent, their face always concealed behind a mask. Then, a glimmer of hope, a moment of distraction. I frantically worked at my restraints, heart racing with the possibility of escape. With trembling hands, I managed to loosen the bindings just enough to break free. I fled, stumbling through a maze of corridors, the sterile air burning my lungs. Fear lent me speed until I burst through an exit, gasping for freedom. The authorities found me disheveled, traumatized, but alive. The ordeal left scars, both seen and unseen, a constant reminder of the fragility of safety in the most ordinary of places. The culprit remained at large, an elusive phantom haunting my nightmares. And as the days passed, the memory of that Walmart trip turned into a chilling, cautionary tale, a reminder that terror could lurk in the most unexpected corners of our everyday lives.